I had a dream a few nights ago. In the dream, I was swept up in a tsunami. I found myself underwater, moving rapidly, being turned this way and that, not knowing which way was up, down, or sideways. My body spinning. And I was so afraid. This lasted for a few moments, and then the fear continued, but yet underneath I started to feel this great calm, this sense of peace. And I understood that I could breathe underwater. And so I started to breathe and to be both afraid but yet also calmly watching as I spun through these chaotic waters. And it was beautiful, terrifying, but beautiful. And I knew I had no control over anything at all. Eventually, the wave ceased and the water calmed, and I saw the bottom of the ocean beneath me. So I sank down and bent my knees and pushed and tried to get to the surface, swimming as hard as I could. And I started to feel that feeling you get in your lungs when you need air. But I kept going. I burst above the surface and took a deep breath. And there on the shore, I saw my girlfriends from college. I don't know why, and they were crying. And I said, "Why are you crying?" And they said, "We thought you had died." Dreams are such a mystery, but they often express what we're feeling. And I know at this time in my life, I'm feeling a little out of control. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be here with the people I love as your dean, or if I'll be called to Connecticut as a bishop. I don't know where my future husband and I will be living. And sometimes I feel like I don't know which way is up. But it's not just me. All of us feel that way, don't we? In fact, all people at various points in their life and throughout history, we've felt afraid. I can only imagine the people of Ukraine trying to get out at the train station with people dying around them and the terror they must have felt. James Cone, the Black liberation theologian, writes about how, as a little boy, black boy growing up in the South, every night in the early evening, he would go to the window, terrified, watching to make sure that his daddy came home safely. He would wait for his dad's old pickup truck to chug its way down the dirt road and into their driveway. And he was so little, he didn't know why he was so frightened. But when his dad pulled up in the pickup truck, he would run outside with his arms outstretched and jump into his arms. Fear permeates the human race. Every time there's injustice, every time there is sickness, every time there is death. And it happens to all of us. As we read this passion narrative, fear is everywhere. It is everywhere. The Jews were living in an oppressed nation They never knew when they could be arrested, thrown in jail, tortured, killed. They lived with terror. Jesus himself was so scared. In Gethsemane, he cries. He's terrified, asking God, please, can you do something else? Can you fix this a different way? But I will do what you want. Even Herod and Pilate, who have so much power, they toss Jesus back and forth like some hot coal that nobody wants to touch. Here, he's yours. No, he's mine. No, he's yours. The fear is everywhere. But my friends, what distinguishes the Son of God from everyone else in this story is not that he wasn't afraid, because he was. But if you notice, Jesus responds to the fear differently than everyone else. In this story, the crowd gets wilder and wilder. They get more and more violent and resistant. They move from adoring him to hating him in a matter of days. Whereas Jesus, he doesn't get louder. He doesn't get more violent. Despite his fear, he gets more and more peaceful and quiet. It's as if he knew that no matter how he was tossed about in the waves of this wild and violent world, he knew he could breathe underwater. He knew that he was alive in God, and that despite his fear, his terror, despite not wanting any of this, that he was at peace. He could let go and tumble around through the chaos and somehow even find it beautiful and find the ability to forgive everyone around him. My friends, there is no question that in your life you will be afraid. If you are allowing God to lead you and you are letting go of control in your life, you will be afraid. But can you still believe? Can you find peace? Can you learn to breathe underwater? I believe you can. I believe that in the waters of baptism, that deep truth as to who you are came to you, and it will never leave you. No matter how much you are tossed about by this life, you belong to the breath of God, and it will never be taken away from you. Amen.